Thanks for meeting with me.
No problem. Pleasure to be here.
Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions regarding the topic of medical and recreational uses of marijuana and the laws associated with it?
No problem.
All right. Are you aware of how many states there are that have legalized marijuana, at least medically?
Not medically. I know Colorado, I think you can do it. I think it's legal 100%, like you can smoke it publicly and stuff, but not medically, no.
Well, that is yeah, that's what a lot of people think, but however, there are a lot of states that have legalized it medically, specifically, not recreationally yet, but they have legalized it specifically for the medical purposes, which is why I find it's a good idea. There are about 23 states, not including the newly passed legalization in D.C., that have legalized it medically.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, that is a lot. Not a lot of people know that. And well, according to my analysis and research, the chemical inside the cannabis plant, which is THC, is actually known to kill cancer cells. And although the plant is known to make you very impaired to the world health-wise, is actually known to do some good. So normally you wouldn't think that, a drug, so to speak, would do anything positive
maybe it
for
should
you.
Be considered drug.
That's what I'm trying
Well,
to say.
a lot of people put it in the category along with cocaine or heroin.
Or that it should be a drug
plant.
because you can go to the pharmacy and you can prescribe the drug. That's completely legal in today's world. That's still a drug.
Yeah.
It's still altering what your body does normally to better enhance your performance positively. It's not it's not all good. There's ups and downs to everything, like you probably know. You have to smoke it. You have to smoke the marijuana plant to get the effects. And anytime you inhale smoke, it's never good, as you probably know already.
Yeah.
Most people do.
Now, there's a saying, like it's not what you do or you could saying like the foods you eat. You're not supposed to drink a lot of soda. It's okay to drink soda, but as long as you keep it under a controlled amount. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was a study done in 2012. It proved that this guy smoked a joint once a day for 7 years.
Wow.
His pulmonary function was not changed at all.
That is pretty interesting.
That's his breathing and his lung function.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And another thing is that it has indirect benefits, and you may ask yourself, what does that mean? Now, there's no actual term for indirect benefits. That's just what I call it. But basically what it is that it's the effects that marijuana gives you. It could be negative or positive, but in this stance, it's positive. It's the effects that they give you after you smoke it, at which you wouldn't be able to do or help yourself before you smoke the plant. I don't know how I said that, but basically, say for instance, you have an eating disorder. It's fairly common, more common than what you might think. And what that is basically, you don't eat. You don't like to eat. You starve yourself. There's many different types of categories with that, or whatever. I'm not a doctor, but it's fairly common that people have eating disorders. And now, what the cannabis makes you do after you smoke it is it is a proven fact that smoking marijuana is prone to making
you
enhances
you eat
your
a lot
appetite.
of food. Yeah.
It enhances your appetite.
There you go.
It's a proven fact. And with that, look at how you go to the pharmacy. You run down to Rite Aid. You get your prescription. That's still a drug. I think I said that already. And
well, eating disorders. There's also eating disorders where you eat too much food, and some people are like addicted to food.
That's obesity, but that's beside the point. I'd rather be obese than have an eating disorder. You'll last a long time.
That is an eating disorder. People eat too much food.
But what I'm saying is that even though it's not a great thing to overeat, I, as a person, would rather overeat than undereat.
Well, say they have, an eating disorder where they don't eat enough food. What you're saying is, that'll make them eat some food.
I would think that it's a little bit more essential to sustaining life than being a little on the chubbier side.
Okay.
So.
Getting a little off topic there, but, let's keep it on the subject.
I'm just saying, it just cures a lot, and, it's just, overall, I feel like it would be a positive, if you make it a T-chart and you put down the positive effects of legalizing marijuana, and you put down the negative effects of legalizing marijuana, I feel like there would be a lot.
You know what? Give me a positive effect of having marijuana illegal. You can't come up with one.
I honestly would have to agree with you. It's like you got people that would, get high, get impaired, so to speak, and go out. But it's like you have, no, nobody wants to say it, but you have a lot of stupid people on the site.
You do.
And regardless of what you do, you're gonna have people that do things that are illegal, do things that are illegal, and you just got to go with the facts.
Yeah, back
to
what you were saying with the T chart. I think in 2012, I think it was an estimated 600,000 people were arrested for the use of marijuana or the possession of marijuana. And out of all of those people, I think it was 90% of those people had no other criminal record. So basically, they were only arrested for marijuana.
Realistically, and
what's that going to do for society?
Just talking down to earth here, you go and how many times do you hear about a bar fight? A lot.
Yeah.
How many times do you hear about a couple of potheads getting in a fight? It's just something you don't hear.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, you just don't hear that.
Yeah. They're too busy, eating food,
sleeping, listening to music, or doing something, that's very.
Watching
I'm sure
the bench warmers.
I'm sure it's very stupid what they're doing, but it's not hurting anybody. And with that, I don't see how you could make it illegal. I really don't.
Yeah.
Along with all the other positives, and it's like, it's like with me, I would find alcohol to be a lot more dangerous and it to be illegal rather than, marijuana be, illegal. But it's like it's not even on the same parallel as alcohol right now. How can alcohol be legal and that
money?
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is like,
there you go.
How much money do you think Colorado has,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, earned off of taxing marijuana in their state.
You know what? You should look up the statistics on that and get me with that because I would like to know.
It's ridiculous about how many positive things that would come from legalizing marijuana. It's just like with all the facts that I bring and my overall opinion on it. I don't see how after anyone seeing this they could possibly disagree with me. I don't see it. I don't see the argument. I really don't.
To be honest, I don't know why there ever was an argument. I don't know. I don't know if this is true. Don't quote me on it. I read one time that marijuana was originally legalized or illegal. Well, yeah, made illegal. There you go. Because the hemp could be used for paper and other products like that, and it would take business or profit away from the people that owned like the paper mills or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I think that was one reason why it was originally made illegal.
It's just
money. That's all it is.
It's really that's all.
And then you say you legalize it, you tax it. First of all, okay, people are like, oh, if it's legal, then more people are gonna smoke weed. Blah 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 blah. Well, look, moonshine. But when that was legalized, who even I think I think they're people that live in the country are the only people that even think of moonshine anymore. But it's whatever.
And
you
who
tax
knows,
it.
this may not be true, but there's a lot of people out there that do things just to be defiant.
Yeah.
And it's like I've heard from a couple people they like to drink alcohol underage because they're being defiant. That's the thing to do, quote unquote, in high school. And it's like after they turn 21, it's like it's a lot dimmed down. It's more about just drinking for taste rather than being reckless. So if you got all of these kids now that smoke marijuana, and it's like if you legalize that could potentially make it a lot dimmed down and make
I agree.
It could really there's a lot of benefits, and I think that at the least they should at least try it. I really do. They haven't even given it a try.
Yeah.
They really need to. So it's like they got a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, and
really
another thing that gives marijuana a bad image are all these people, for example, in school or in high school that post pictures of oh yeah, turn up man with 6 blunts in their mouth. That's not what marijuana's about. It's like you said earlier. It's not really medicine.
It's not really about anything. It's about how you use it.
Yeah, exactly. That what is that? You're smoking 6 blunts like Jesus. That's the reason it is illegal. Because
But what the law and what authority has to understand is that with anything you talk about, there's going to be people that take it too far and take advantage of it. You can give an inch, take a mile.
Yeah.
As a special someone would like to call it. it's just they just gotta think about it. I think it's something that I think that it is going to be legalized soon.
I agree with you 100%. I think President Obama kind of, gave. It was in Colorado. He gave him kind of like the go ahead to go ahead with the experiment of legalizing marijuana,
I
and
think that
I
really
think it was
set the
his.
tone.
Yeah, it was his. The people, you got the president. He can't just do whatever he wants. If he could, it would be legal already. But it's the other people in the government and Congress that are also very conservative on it still. I don't understand why, but that's what happens. It's
Well,
life goes on.
well, it's going to be arguments with everything, but
Yeah,
that's my viewpoint.
there you go.